if you'd like, you can bring the soles of the feet together for a reclining bound angle. If that's not available to you, you can feel free to just extend your legs out. So kind of just whatever feels good for you today. I do want you to walk the shoulder blades underneath you a little bit to open up the heart. If you have a rolled towel or a block, you can place that under your head. If that is something that feels good, you could also put it between your shoulder blades for a little bit more opening through the heart. Like I said, rolled towel works just fine if you don't have a block. So coming into a comfortable position here on your backs. Opening the heart, allowing the eyes to close or taking the gaze down. Let your palms turn upward towards the sky. More of a receiving position today. Inhale deeply through the nose. A big exhale through the mouth. Good. One more time. This time I want you to make that exhale a little bit longer. So nice deep breath in through the nose. Big heavy sigh. Let it out through the mouth. And just slowly start to come into your breath this afternoon. I'd like you to think about opening your mind and your heart to change or new perspective. Thinking about what subtle differences you might make in your life that might outwardly affect others. Just continuing to deepen your breath. Notice the gentle rise and fall of the belly. And start to identify with the breath a little bit here. Notice any emotions or feelings that you notice when you start to move more into that belly breath. Keeping that in mind off your mat as well. Maybe just calling on the belly or diaphragmatic breath in times when you're feeling stressed. Maybe when you need a little bit of grounding in your life. As you inhale through the nose, drawing in something new to your body and mind. As you exhale, releasing anything that's not serving you. Noticing any tension that you feel or discomfort throughout the body. Think about letting those areas go with each out breath. So starting on our backs today, either with the legs outstretched or bringing the soles of the feet together for a reclining bound angle, whatever works for you, and just tuning into that nice long belly breath, allowing yourself to take full, complete breaths. Your mind begins to wander, I invite you to think about either naming something that you'd like to draw into your body as you breathe in. Similarly, naming something that you'd like to release from your mind or your body as you breathe out. And if that doesn't work for you, then just count slowly at whatever pace works for you. Just allow your mind to go somewhere else. Putting a pause on the to-do list, on any worries and fears that we might be having. I invite you to just be here on your mat for the next 40 minutes or so. Just put a pause on the mind chatter. Allow your body to move in ways that feel restorative, in ways that feel good for you. so that at the end of the practice, you're more rejuvenated and able to tackle the afternoon and whatever it may bring. So as you continue to breathe deeply, set an intention or a dedication for your practice today. Just bring that into your heart. Take a couple deep breaths into that intention. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and start to bring the soles of the feet on the mat. Toe heel the feet out a little bit wider, close to shoulder width apart. And then take your arms up to a T or goalpost arms. If it's available to you, keeping the palms up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in with your knees up to the ceiling, then as you exhale, let them fall to the right side. So we're just going to start to windshield wiper the legs. Your gaze might be opposite. On an inhale, bring the knees back up to center, and then exhale, drop them to the left side. So we're going to do this several times with your breath. So you'll inhale to center and exhale to release, just beginning to bring some warmth into the lumbar spine and the hips, even the head and neck as you turn the head and neck opposite your legs. So starting already to coordinate the movement with your breath. Let that be your focus here today. Moving and breathing together. And if you mess up the inhales and the exhales, don't worry about it, just keep breathing. So take your legs one more time to either direction, and then we'll meet with the knees back up in the center. And then toe heel your feet back in so they're about hips distance apart. As you exhale, pull the knees into the chest and just start to massage out your low back. Maybe create some circles on the mat through your low back. And then as you exhale, extend your left leg long on the mat. Keep that right knee drawn in, and then extend your right foot up towards the ceiling, either grabbing behind the thigh or the calf. Maybe bend and straighten the knee a few times, rotate the leg, or circle out the ankle. Just beginning to feel some length into the back of the right thigh here. And then we're going to take that same right leg, we're going to let it fall all the way to the left. Extend your right arm out and turn your gaze to the right. So reclining spine twist variation. Maybe feeling a little bit more of a stretch into the outside of the right hip and the IT band. A little bit of overpressure if you want with that hand on the outside of the thigh. As you exhale, bring the knees back into the center, both of them. Reach down for the instep. Press the feet into the hands, find happy baby pose. Or wide leg straddle if that's in your practice. You can rock gently from side to side or alternate straightening one knee at a time. Lengthening the inner thighs, the hamstrings, letting the low back release. And then pull both knees into your chest. This time send the right leg long on the mat, keeping that left knee drawn in, extended upward towards the ceiling. Any movement that feels good for you. So not forcing a deep stretch here into the hamstring, but just more moving as you pause here, increasing blood flow to that left leg. Good way to check in with yourself, noticing how you're feeling before we move into longer holds in our poses or asanas for today. Take another breath in. As you exhale, let that left leg fall all the way to the right. Extend your left arm out, reclining spine twist variation. Do your best to keep the shoulder blades connected to the mat here if it works for you. If not, don't worry about it, but just move in that direction. breathing deeply into that left side. On an exhale, slowly, one more time, draw the knees back into the center. And then this time we're gonna release the legs to 90-90 position. So your knees and hips are flexed to 90 degrees. Go ahead and draw your hands back behind your head without interlacing them. So I want the fingers spread nice and wide. We're gonna begin to do some core stability work here. So we'll work on our back a little bit, then we're gonna flip over to our tummies. So as you exhale, we're gonna start with our yogic bicycle. You'll bring your right shoulder to your left knee as your right leg goes long. So the lower down you let that right leg come, the more core stability you need. Come back to center as you breathe in. And then as you exhale, switch sides. So I want you to really focus on keeping that low back nice and stable, flush with your mat. As you exhale, switch. Right shoulder, left knee. So not about speed here, more about moving slow and controlled. And each time you come back to the center, I want you to let your head and neck relax back down to the mat. Really focus in on opening up the chest and the shoulders as you come back to the center. Your belly is drawing in towards your spine when you're holding that center position. As you exhale, extend. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, extend. Inhale, center. Exhale, extend. Inhale, center. One more time on either side. Continuing to breathe here. Pause in the center, release the head and neck back down to the mat. And then go ahead and let your legs go long on the mat. We're gonna move into low boat pose. So a couple of options for low boat. It's a lot of stability through the low belly and the low back. So if it doesn't work to have your legs out long, you can either try just lifting one leg at a time, or you can bend the legs up. So on an exhale, you're gonna float your legs and your arms and your upper body, but stay low to the mat. So creating that nice hollow shape through your body. This is our low boat variation. Again, too much strain on your low back, you can just release one leg. Continuing to breathe. And just pause and hold. Try to relax through the head and neck. As you exhale, release. Extend your legs and your arms up over your head, full body stretch. On an exhale, roll to your tummy. So as you come to your stomach, I want you to bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Tops of the feet are flat here. Use your inhale to come to baby cobra. Lift your heart. Think about drawing the mat back, activating the back body. If it's available to you, interlace your hands on top of the sacrum. Draw down and back, open your heart further. Keep your head and neck in line with your spine here. So notice how I'm not overextending or looking straight ahead or upward, but really just gazing down towards the front edge of my mat. As you exhale, release, come to crocodile pose. So stack the hands, turn the toes out. Couple nice deep breaths into the belly. Good, release. This time, bring the arms back down at the sides. Your legs are gonna be in line with each other, kind of moving inward. And as you inhale, float your chest and your arms up. Locust pose variation here. If you'd like, you can float your feet. Doesn't have to be super high, but focusing in on activating the back body here. Softening across the face and the jaw. And as you exhale, release, rolling back to your back. Extending your legs out. One more time, low boat pose variation. So draw the belly in, float your legs and your upper body in, pull your belly in towards your spine, lift your chest. Again, option to just float one leg at a time. We're gonna stay for 3 more breaths here. Good, then as you exhale, I want you to roll up to sitting, and we're gonna come to high boat pose. So your chest is lifted, your palms are gonna float. You're gonna round back to feel your tummy muscles engage. This might be your variation of boat, or you might float your legs, your arms, or straighten your knees. So we're gonna pause here for 5 breath cycles. Whatever variation of boat works for you. The big thing here is to keep lifting your chest, so try not to collapse into your low back. Softening the tops of the shoulders and the face. Good. As you exhale, release, set your left foot down. If you have it lifted, then your right, stay back here. And then inhale to lengthen upward. As you exhale, engage your belly, come all the way down to your back. Nice and slow. And one more time, roll to your tummy. This time, move your arms up over your head. Tops of the feet are flat. Keep your head and neck in line with your spine and use your inhale to float your chest and your arms up, just subtly here. And if you're looking for an additional challenge, you can try floating your feet. Think about softening the tops of the shoulders. Thumbs are up towards the sky. And breathe. Good. Send the arms back at your sides. Reach for your feet. Lift your chest slightly higher. Tops of the feet can be on your mat or floating up. Good. As you exhale, release your hands. Press back to extended child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide, forehead to the mat. Couple deep belly breaths here, yogis. When you're ready, inhale to cow pose. Heart forward. Soften the tops of the shoulders. Lengthen the abdominal muscles here. As you exhale, press and round. C-shaping the spine. Maybe shifting the hips from side to side. And flowing with your breath. Inhale to cow. Heart forward. Lengthening the abdominals. Exhale, tuck and round, C-shaping the spine. You're just beginning to flow with your breath, moving at your own pace as we cycle through cat and cow, pausing anywhere along the way for a little bit of extra time. Take about 3 more cycles here at your own pace. Any variations that feel good. So if you want to tuck your toes under, if you want to take a few extra breaths, do what works for you. Finishing the cycle that you're on. Coming back to a neutral spine position, move your hands forward and find downward facing dog. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, lifting the sit bones up and back. Move a little bit here in your first down dog, kind of figuring out what feels good for the spine, the back of the legs. Maybe it feels good to walk your feet out a little bit wider. Drop the knees into the center. Pedal out the feet. And on your next inhale, slowly move your feet back in so they're hips distance apart. Head and neck in line with the spine. As you inhale, float your left leg high. As you exhale, pull it to the right elbow. So a little bit of rotation, cat back. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale one more time, right elbow. Inhale, left leg high. This time you're gonna slide it all the way through and set it on the floor on the right side. With the hips lifted, press back. So feeling a little bit of length on the side of that left leg. Then inhale, lower your hips down. Exhale, float your right arm. Fallen starfish pose. So right arm floats. Beautiful. Softening the top of that right shoulder. Lifting the hips towards the ceiling. As you exhale, let that right hand come back down. Lift the hips high. Inhale the left leg all the way up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, cat back. Inhale, left leg high. And exhale, release it. Set it back to your mat. Press back to downward facing dog. So start to feel a little bit more length possibly in the back of the legs here. Think about spreading the hands nice and wide, turning the elbow creases towards each other. So you're feeling some activation around the shoulder girdle as well. Inhale, float your heels. Exhale, melt them down. One more time, inhale, rise, float the heels. And exhale, sink them down. On your next inhale, send your right leg high, three-legged dog. As you exhale, bring it over to the left elbow, cat back. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale to the left elbow. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, this time send it all the way through under the left leg, setting it over to the left side of the mat. Press the hips high. Breathe. And then exhale, lower the hips. Inhale the left arm up, fallen starfish pose. So left side of the pelvis is lifting up towards the ceiling. You're reaching through that left hand. Feeling some good activation around the right shoulder girdle. As you exhale, release that left hand back. Press the hips back. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, release it, set it down, downward facing dog. And then release to child's pose. This time bring your arms back at your sides. Separate the knees a little bit, couple belly breaths here. Good, when you feel ready, go ahead and press up to your hands, tuck the toes under, and this time I want you to walk back towards the back edge of your mat. Come to Malasana or garland pose. Your toes are gonna be out at about 45 degrees. Bring the elbows to the inner thighs and send the knees out. So if this amount of hip and knee bend is not available to you, you're gonna come up more to a yogi squat. So just bringing your hands to your thighs or forearms to the thighs. Chest is lifted, tailbone tucks under. Good, release your right hand, inhale the left arm back and twist. Looking at that left hand, keeping your heart lifted. Good, as you exhale, come back to center. Hands to heart, top of the head is forward, or up towards the ceiling, belly is in. Good, left hand plants, reach the right arm back. Exhale, come back to center, separate those knees a little bit, breathe. For an additional challenge, if you'd like, try floating your heels today. So raising up to the balls of the feet. We're gonna try staying here for 3 breaths. So find some energy by pressing the palms together, lifting the heart and drawing the belly in. One more inhale. As you exhale, settle the heels down. Plant your hands, toe heel your feet in so they're about hips distance apart, and take a forward fold at the back edge of your mat here. Just generously rounding the spine, bending the knees as you need to, feeling some length into the back body. And when you feel ready, take your time, start to round all the way up to standing. Roll your shoulders back as you come up, and then take a step, come towards the top of your mat, mountain pose. Palms are forward, chest is lifted, feet are about hips distance apart. As you inhale, go ahead and sweep your arms up. Little back bend here. As you exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose and pause. Press into that middle part of your back, crown of the head is forward. Breathing in, zipping the legs together. Drop the knees to the mat, lower halfway down, low push up. Release to your tummy. Inhale, baby cobra, heart lifts, mat draws back. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Look forward, walk or step to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, sweep up. Little back bend. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose and pause. Press into that mid part of your back, really activating your entire body here in plank. From your toes or your knees, Vinyasa series, lowering halfway. Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Looking forward, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep. Little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center here. Just pause here in mountain pose with your hands at heart center. Blink the eyes closed for a few breaths. I just want you to notice how you're feeling in standing. Maybe recall that intention that you set for your practice today. We're gonna move through several more cycles of Sun Salutation A. Instead of me calling out every breath and movement, we'll do it one more time all together, and then I want you to just flow with your own breath. So if you're not exactly in line with your neighbor or with me, don't worry about it. And you can do any variation of Sun A that you'd like. So if you'd like to take that Vinyasa series, you can. Otherwise, you're always welcome to come just to down dog or child's pose. Take a nice deep breath in. Big exhale. On your next inhale, reach your arms up. Little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank, Vinyasa, or skip it and press back to downward facing dog or child's pose. Really think about connecting with your breath. When you make your way back to down dog, take a couple of breaths before moving forward. Look forward, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. So you're gonna flow with your breath here. Holding poses longer if you need to. We're gonna run through this Sun Salutation 3 more times. of your breathing. Do your best to just keep the breath flowing. Not to be concerned as much with which pose is with an inhale or an exhale. Staying in poses as you need to, making the practice your own. So finishing the sun salutation that you're on, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Good, from down dog, once you're there, take a couple of cleansing breaths, really breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And if you're not quite to downward dog, don't rush it, just take your time. Notice how you feel. Notice your breath. If and when you're ready, inhale your right leg high. Exhale, step it between your hands, come up to warrior two. Think about softening the tops of the shoulders, drawing the belly slightly in, reaching front to back. Relax your face. Good, inhale the right palm up, start to straighten your front knee, reverse triangle. Nice and easy, opening that right side body. Good, then exhale, windmill the hands down, come to triangle pose. So your right hand can go to your shin or your mat. Float the left hand up. Try gazing upward if that works for your neck. As you exhale, left hand comes to the mat. Frame your hands with both, or frame your foot with both of your hands. Come to runner's lunge. Look forward, reach through that back heel. Think about the front of your left hip dropping down to the mat. Good, as you inhale, float your right arm up, twisting from that high lunge. As you exhale, release down, come to low lunge. Walk your hands up your front thigh, tucking the tailbone under, just settle into that hip flexor a little bit, start to feel some length into that left hip. And then take that front foot out to the side a little bit. Bring both hands to the instep for lizard lunge or lizard pose. So go ahead and take whatever variation feels good for you here. If you want to shift your weight a little bit front to back, stay on a straight elbow or come down to your forearms. Whatever feels good for you. You're letting that right knee kind of fall out to the side, letting the front of that left hip drop down to the mat. So holding or inviting some movement into this hip opening pose. Good, if you came down to your forearm, start to slowly come up, toe heel that right foot back in, keep your hands planted and step it back to downward facing dog. Just pedaling out those feet a little bit, eventually bringing them back in so they're hips distance apart, lifting the sit bones up and back, letting the heels melt towards the mat. On your next inhale, send your left leg high. As you exhale, step it forward, rise to warrior two. Nice long wingspan here, powerful legs, soft tops of the shoulders. Inhale to straighten the front knee. Turn the left palm up, exhale, reverse triangle. Allow the breath to flow to that left side body. As you exhale, find triangle pose. Gaze is up towards the right hand. As you exhale, take the hands down to frame the front foot, runner's lunge. Look forward, belly in. Reaching through the top of the head and the back heel. Inhale the left arm up to twist. Beautiful. Exhale, release, drop the back knee down, come up to low lunge. Tucking the tailbone under, settling into that front knee, feeling some length into that right hip flexor. And then as you exhale, bring both hands to the instep. Move your left foot out towards the left edge of your mat for lizard pose. So you might notice a difference in what variation of this pose you choose from right to left, and that's perfectly fine if you're more restricted on one side or the other. So coming down to forearms as a choice, or just staying on straight elbows here. Good. If you came down to your forearms, slowly start to come back up. Bring that left foot back to center, a hand on either side of the foot. This time I want you to tuck your back toes under, step forward, bring both feet together, and then take a seat. Leave the soles of your feet on the mat. Float your palms up, and we're going to start to come to our backs once again. So taking your time, allowing yourself to engage the belly as you come all the way down. And then keeping your feet in, arms down at your sides, tucking the shoulder blades underneath you. Inhale the hips up, find bridge pose. Keeping your arms at your sides or interlacing your hands to open the heart further. If you want an additional challenge today, you can alternate floating one leg at a time, reaching it straight forward or up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Be mindful to keep both hips lifted if you're reaching through a leg. Hold for a couple of breaths and then switch sides. Continuing to breathe here. Good. Coming back to bridge pose. If you took the leg lift, just floating both hips high. And then as you exhale, release the hands. Let the shoulder blades come out. Set the hips down. Pull the knees into the chest. And just massage out that low back one more time. So take a body scan here. And for the next minute or so, I want you to take any additional poses that might feel good. So if you have other inversions in your practice that you'd like to do, you can do that. Maybe a reclining spinal twist or happy baby would feel good. Just kind of do what works for you here before we make our way into our final relaxation. whenever you're ready, we'll take a full body stretch. So just extending the legs out long, reaching the arms up above your head. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more time, inhaling through the nose. Big exhale through the mouth. Release your arms down at your sides. Come to your final relaxation, Shavasana, corpse pose. Take any comfortable variation of Shavasana that you'd like today. Scan your body one last time. Let go of any areas that you may still be holding on. Notice your breath. The subtleness of the inhale and the exhale. The rise and fall of the belly. Softening your gaze or blinking the eyes closed. Relax your face. Take a moment to express quietly your gratitude for coming to your mat today, for taking this time for self-care, for taking care of you. Put the mind at rest and the body at rest for a few moments. You are safe. You are content. You are at peace. You are loved.